everybody, thank you for joining me today on my video. I'm going to be splitting this talkie video into two parts today because I want to spend the first part of the video looking at some products that I'm going to be using, and then the second part of the video I'll be carrying on with the talking in real time, but I'll be then actually using the products to make another Memorydex card. I've been really fortunate to have been sent some beautiful new products from the lovely Asia Marquet, and she has her own YouTube channel. She's also known as Lemon Creation, and I will link her YouTube channel and her web shop back down in the description box underneath the video. I might even put a caption underneath if I remember. She sent me these collage books. I'm really into my collage at the moment, and she reached out and asked if I would like to have some of her collage work to use within my own crafting. Now, she didn't ask me to make any videos, she didn't ask me to make any projects or promote them in any way, but I want to do that because I do actually already own a number of Asia's products that I have bought myself that I do use within my videos because I love her way of designing, I love her her artwork. Now, these that I've been sent are collage books using her original drawings, and she has two coloured books which she sent to me. One is called Funky and Wet, and one is called Winged and Co, and we'll have a quick little look through them. She also sent me a couple of these sheets of black and white collage, which I know she now also has available in her shop as books, so this is just a few for me to try out. So we'll have a quick look through the Winged and Co, which, as you might guess, has got lots of winged creatures in it, and the images in these books that I've got are already pre-coloured, but they're on a really lovely thick paper, and I would say it's got a slight, it's very smooth, it's got a slight glossiness, but I should imagine you can still add bits and pieces to it as well. So we have two sheets of each design, but they're in different colours. So we have dragonflies and bees on this page, and then we have dragonflies and bees again, but this time we've got the blue and the green and brown on this one, and the pink and the sort of greyish blue on that one. So I'll just do a really quick flick through, and what I like is that they are all really beautifully designed so that they won't require lots and lots of fussy cutting. Even the antennae are quite thick, so you're not going to have a problem cutting those out. So I love, this is one of my favourites. I think these beetles, I absolutely adore them, so I might use those today on the Memorydex card. But then we've got moths as well. So if I'm going through too quick, but I don't want to be here all day just flicking through the bits I want to get on to using them. Then we've also got, just to add a little bit of difference, we've got our bats, which also do have wings, but then we've got our chameleons there as well. And finally, we have this beautiful steampunk moth, which I do believe Asia designed herself. So the detail, the patterns in that are absolutely beautiful, and again with two different colours. So that's the Winged and Co drawings collection, and this one's the Funky and Wet. And now this one, I have to say, I really do like. I'm just going to put my mat up because it's got lots of lovely floral and leaf elements. So we've got these beautiful sort of leaves and foliage, but they're not like normal foliage and leaves, they're quite funky, they're a bit different. This one I love, this beautiful sort of fantasy type flowers, these lovely circular patterned flowers, and the colours are lovely too. So we've got a real range of different designs and different colourways in there. And then we go on to this lovely sort of sea dragon, like a sort of a seahorse, but more with the seaweedy look. So that's absolutely beautiful. Love that one. I love this colourway as well. I do believe that Asia has a video, which I'll try and link as well, where she uses this in one of her projects. And then we've got these gorgeous whales and seahorses, and again in the two different colourways. And then a couple of pages of these lovely sort of elements that you can just use on everything. So we've got hearts, circles, stars, and then we've got more circles, more hearts, so you've got plenty there that you can be using. And like I say, if I just do, it's not flimsy paper, it's beautiful quality. So those are the two different coloured collage books, and I will be stopping the video in a bit so I can cut some out. But then she has also now released the same books but with black and white images, so I've just got a few of the sheets so you can colour them whichever way that you wanted. Now I will also be using, along with those, some other products that Asia has previously released. So she does have some stamps that are created by IndigoBlu here in the UK, but she is the designer, and this is one of my favourites, so I think I'm definitely going to be using this one. This is bordering on the ridiculous. We got this from the most recent collection, so we've got Be Different, Man in the Moon, and the circle flowers. I love the circle flowers. So you can see how the designs that she's made for these stamps are sort of coming through into the collage. And then there's also, she did this little collector's edition that went with her stamps, which is the Matrix, which is lots of numbers, so that's right up my street. And I also purchased this one directly from Asia's shop, and that you may have seen me, I'll probably, as my end card, I might link a video with these products in as well. This is a stencil that Asia has in her web shop that I ordered, and this one is Broken Circle. The hole at the bottom isn't normally there. What I did was I punched a hole so that I hang it on a ring with my other stencils next to me, so it's always within reach. So I'm going to be using these products. I'm not quite sure what colouring mediums I'm thinking of. I am possibly thinking about some ink sprays today, but we'll have to wait and see. So I will stop the video now so that I can cut some out, because although they are simple, I don't think you need to see me cutting them out individually, and then I'll be back to make the project. Hello again, I am back. I have cut out a number of the sort of floral and leaf elements, and also a few of the beetles, because I'm not quite sure what's going to go on my Memorydex card yet, so I thought I'd do a selection. I've also, around each one, which is something I do when I tend to, especially if I stamp and cut things and they have a black line, I went round the outside of each of the elements with my Unipin permanent black brush marker. It's only got a very fine point, so I'll put it over that white bit there. So it's quite good for just getting the edges. And if I was knowing that I was going to stick everything just flat onto my project, then I probably wouldn't worry so much, because you wouldn't see that. But sometimes if you're going to layer things up and have them raise a little bit, I just don't like to see that white edge, so that's why I do that. I have also got out my white jelly roll pen, because I think that some of these elements, if you wanted to, you could add some little white highlights to bits, just to add your own extra touch, which is something I like to do. But when I'm doing collage, I do tend to cut out or have out more than I'm going to use, so that I have got an option of what I want to choose for when I'm making my project. So that's why I've cut out more. And what I would then do is I have a little plastic pouch that anything that I don't use that's already cut out, I will pop in there. Also, when you've not got much mojo and you don't know quite what to do, sitting and cutting out lots of elements is quite good fun. So I'm going to put these to the side, and I'm going to make quite a simple background, I think, for these, because I think all the design that's gone into these and the colour is already there, so I don't need to make too much distraction for the background. So I'm going to go with the Broken Circle that's by Asia, and I'm going to pop it in the middle. Do something I don't often do. I'm just going to spritz through, and I've got a Lindy's Starburst spray, and this one is Galactic Teal, so it's quite a dark blue, which I thought would be sort of a nice darkness against the colour. And because it is a Starburst spray, it has mica, so I'm going to just shake it up. Let's move that a bit more straight for you. And once I've got that going a bit, I'm going to just spritz through the stencil, and then let's have a bit of kitchen roll by the side. Now if I had my journal next to me, I would then take this stencil, I would spritz it with water, and I would lay it down onto my stencil, but I haven't, so you don't get a perfect impression when you do this, but it gives that nice background. And I think it's a bit spider's webby, so I'm going to make sure that's nicely dry before I move on to the next step, so I'll pause you here. Okay, I'm back again, and this has now totally dried, and I'm hoping you'll be able to see the sparkle from the spray on there. But now I've done the sparkly background, I've been thinking that I would like a little bit more sparkle through the stamping, so I'm going to use this stamp set that was designed also by Asia and is called Bordering on the Ridiculous, and I'm going to be using this foliage here, which I've already stuck onto a block, and I thought I would use some Wow glitter embossing powder, and this one is called Totally Teal, so I thought that would go nice with the colours. And because the collage images are going to be quite dramatic in the front, I just wanted something that was going to sort of sit in the background a little bit. So I'm using my Wow embossing ink. Oh, I know what I've forgotten. I'm going to just do a little bit of anti-static just because it has got that mica in the ink. So let's do some stamping. So just a few of these. I'm going to turn it that way just to make it easier for myself. So I have one coming off the edge like that. Can't really see what I'm doing yet, so hopefully as soon as the embossing powder's on there it will become a little bit clearer. And let's just, I think we'll just have three. We'll just have 1, 2, and then we'll have another one at this side. 3. Just a little bit of interest in the background. Now this, as this is a glitter embossing powder, I do just tip it up and down just to make sure the glitter and the embossing powder is mixed together, and then sprinkle, and there we go. So that's what it looks like at the moment. If you heard a little laugh in the background, that would be my son. Having a little giggle to himself on the computer. So I'm now going to heat this up. And as the powder turns, you generally see the glitter gives a little twinkle, and that's how you know. Quite tricky to see it sometimes. Try not to overheat the embossing powder, because it does go quite like a dullish colour if you don't give it too much heat. So let's just move these pieces of paper out of the way. Got nice glittery mat now. Just try and blow some of that extra glitter off, and there you go. Ooh, see the glitteriness of that. And now I'm just going to layer up some of these elements. So I'm thinking, I've got my white acrylic glue, and I'm also going to potentially use some foam tape with it to layer some of the pieces more. So I'm thinking, oh, let's have maybe that one. And oh, I did mean to say I did go through all of the images and add a little bit of white gel pen just to add some highlights to them. Now, I'm thinking, I think it's a bit too blue up that end, so I might go with that one. Maybe that one behind it, and then the orange one, and maybe this one, just so I've got I wanted like a difference of colours, I'm thinking, yeah, I think that would do. So I'm going to stick the ones at the back flat, and then put the ones that are at the front more raised. Let's put that one next. Put one over the top of that one, and then we'll raise this one up. So we'll stick this one down, and then these two we'll have with some foam behind them. So let's have some foam on that one. Oops, some foam on this one, and then I always add a bit of glue as well, just so that they don't stick straight away, so you've got a little bit of wiggle time with them. There we go. And I just want, I think, one of the bugs. I'm thinking the ladybug, maybe the ladybird, on top of there. So let's give that a little bit of foam as well. And again, a bit of glue. And it's sort of like a bit of Alice in Wonderland, I think, that one. So we just want then to add onto that. I'm thinking, because we've got the black of the outlines of the collage, we'll add a little bit of black just around the edge of the card. There we go. Just to frame it. And then we'll just go for a little sentiment from Tim Holtz. So I've got my big chats, I've got my small chat snarky ones, and my small talk. So let's go, I think possibly just a word. And I want them on black. So let's have a look. Oh, here we go. Never ordinary. So we've got two words actually. So never. Oops. I'm going to add a little bit of glue actually on the back of that, because there is the embossing powder and the mica and everything else on there. So never ordinary. There we go. One finished Memorydex card. So I will link all of the relevant videos and channels and shops in the description box, and I'll put a list of what I've used as well. So thank you very much for watching, and see you next time. Bye.